Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I am Kris Randazzo, and joining me tonight is a man who hates beer and loves the Philadelphia Eagles, Evil Dan Ryan.
Oh, nope, bye, done, nope, that's it, video's off, eat a dick, fuck off, I quit.
Did you not watch the episode?
What?
Earthworm Jim.
Yes, I did.
Evil Jim. He loves what Jim hates. He hates what Jim loves.
But
Evil
that
Dan
hurt.
Ryan would hate beer and love the Eagles.
But that hurt a lot. It was too raw. It's too raw. It's too fresh. It's too real.
All aboard the SAG Cartoon Express. This time we are taking another stop at Earthworm Jim. Is Dan Castellaneta as charming as a giant earthworm as he is as Homer Simpson? Keep your photocopiers away from giant hamsters because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now. Hi everyone, this is episode 616. It is the week of May 1st, 2026. Welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, Dan, I'm sorry I even implied that an evil version of you would like the Eagles.
I don't think that's so much more than an evil version of me. Just, oh God.
That's Nega Dan. So
that's
it would
right.
be no beard. No beard, no beer. Big lacrosse fan.
Big lacrosse fan. I don't mind lacrosse. In theory, I suppose.
You hate lacrosse. You know this. We all know this about you.
I have
the rants you've gone on about lacrosse off camera. Some of the filthiest things you've ever said.
We're not ready for that Patreon tier. Boy, you think some of this shit has gotten saucy. Oh, man. I put on both the saucy and sassy pants when I got to talk about lacrosse.
Should go to land you in jail. Oh, my God. So, anyways, what's new? You're watching the draft?
No, I just the Giants picked a person that I've never heard of because I don't watch college football. Because I don't know why. I don't have a good reason. I like football quite a bit. I think it's because the college that I went to didn't have a football team. We actually had a lacrosse team. That was our biggest thing, was our lacrosse team, which is maybe why I hate it now, and have said the true and hard to hear things about lacrosse that I've said.
Nothing's ever been truer than your hatred of lacrosse. Yeah,
I'm very happy.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Lacrosse.
It's a good word. I'm very happy. Sorry, gas. That the Knicks game is not on because they keep losing to the Atlanta Hawks for some fuck reason. I don't really understand. Here's what I don't understand, Kris. Maybe you can explain this to me because I don't fucking get it.
Nobody understands cricket. I don't know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
Jose Canseco bat? It's right up there. Anyway, at the beginning of the season of basketball, the new Knicks coach, Mike Brown, said, we are going to use load management to keep our players healthy, right? Load management. So guys will take days off and will miss this game, miss that game, whatever. Because the basketball season, the regular season doesn't fucking count. Nobody cares. It's awful. Regular season basketball is fucking dog shit. Playoff basketball is really fun, though. But they were like, we're gonna use load management. And Mitchell Robinson, very important piece of the New York Knickerbockers, did not play like the first game of the season. They were like, we're gonna rest Mitch because we want him healthy for the playoffs. Keep in mind, they had 81 more games to go before they made the playoffs. Basketball season's 82 games long. They started this bullshit on day fucking one, we're resting Mitchell Robinson. He played 14 minutes last night. Like, you start on day one, you rested him. It's the fucking playoffs now. 14, Kris, make it make sense.
I'm afraid I cannot. That sounds like a big old bowl of stupid.
How much rest do you need to play more than 14 minutes in your job? It's weird. Doesn't make any sense.
Weird. I don't know. I've been enjoying playoff hockey. I'll tell you that.
Playoff hockey's better. Playoff hockey might be the best playoffs. Like, I would argue the Super Bowl and all of the shit around the Super Bowl is the best championship game, right? Like, it's the best moment. I'm maybe like a Game 7 of a World Series or whatever has that drama, but Super Bowl, fucking awesome. The hockey playoffs, though, are the best playoffs.
Yeah, I've been we're up 3-0 against the Penguins, which is pretty great, and that last game was really something special. Sidney Crosby finally got him an embellishment called against him for someone lightly tapping his visor with their stick, and he fell over like he got hit by a sniper.
Yes, he did. I saw that shit, and I was like...
Even Penguins fans were like looking at it like, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Come on,
that
dude.
was really something. That whole game was insane. The giant brawl, fucking scumbag Rust, like, Konecny shrugged him off his shoulder like a bit of an elbow that wouldn't even have meant anything had Rust not lost his fucking gourd and threw him down, ripped off his helmet, and started beating the fuck out of him. Then when Konecny got up to try to, like, actually fight him face to face, Rust wanted nothing to do with it. Okay.
Nothing at all. It's so weird to watch hockey players flop. Because, like, you're hockey players. You don't fucking... Like, LeBron James fucking flops. You know what I mean? Like, it's what drives me crazy about, like, the LeBron versus Jordan argument of, like, you ever see Michael Jordan flop? No, you fucking didn't. You know what I mean? Like, watching modern NBA is like, but ow, hey.
Yeah, there's something about drawing penalties quite to that extent that's a little,
oh my God,
scuzzy. Like, I understand it's a part of the game.
It's brutal.
But it's brutal. It's my least favorite part of the game currently.
But watching it happen in hockey is strange because, like, you fuckers take pucks to the dick. Yeah. And you're like, whatever, it's cool. I don't have any teeth. Half my face is gone. I'm good, coach. Put me out there. Like, hockey players are insane.
And I guess that's why I like that they have these. The embellishment is there's a penalty for that. If you get caught embellishing, then you can get in trouble. I think that's great.
You're not a fucking actor. Stop it. Just go play. Just shut up and dribble. Am I right, Kris? That phrase isn't charged.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your sports ball lane, athlete.
Oh boy.
But
it's been very. I really wasn't expecting this to. Like, I'm not upset about it, but it's pretty wild watching the Penguins get so rattled. Like,
yeah, I was not expecting...
they're not playing disciplined at all. And it's kind of like, geez, guys, like, I know we're in a good place right now, right? I know the Flyers are playing really well, and we have been playing really well. But, like, it's just weird seeing the Penguins come so unglued. Good times. Like, look, I will acknowledge every day of the week that Sidney Crosby's one of the best that's ever played the game. But he's a bitch.
Unquestionably, he is.
Unquestionably, but he's a bitch.
Yeah. He's not a guy that I, like, ever watched. Like, obviously, if he ever got traded to the Devils, I would have been like, fuck yeah, Sidney Crosby. But, like, I never actively wanted it to happen because he's hard to root for. You know, like, at least from the outside looking in,
Yeah, he might be a perfectly nice guy. I've never met him.
But, that's just not the style of player that I like, and just never have.
Same. That's it. That does not do it for me.
No.
I rather, like, one of the reasons I enjoy watching the Flyers so much is because their style of play, like, I'm really just learning about styles of play, right? As far as this stuff is concerned, I'm relatively new to that, but I've always known, at least from watching enough Flyers and Devils games, that, like, the difference in their style is the Flyers are pretty haphazard and, like, it's controlled chaos and they look for their shots, whereas the Devils are very good at executing plays, which is what makes them such an interesting set of teams to go against, because it's two very different styles. Like, the Devils will go in with a plan and then execute it, and they're good at that. I hate them with every fiber of my being because that's what's been ingrained in me since I was a kid, but I respect the way that they play the game. It's a fun rivalry, and a lot of time they'll beat the shit out of us because we haven't been great for a long time. But no, we're doing pretty well. Not this year. We're doing okay, and the Devils did not do okay.
No, sitting at home currently. Sitting at home.
Good
about
times.
To be joined by the Knicks.
But anyway, that's enough sports talk. People are here for video games, not sports talk.
People are here for lawn care. That's what they're actually here for.
I have done no lawn care this week. There just hasn't been anything to do. I did it all last weekend, and we're going to get a bunch of rain this week, so that's gonna be wonderful. We really need the rain, and it's going to make everything grow.
We are.
Yeah,
boy, do we need. Chris and I, tomorrow, Chris and I are both going to wake up separately, miles away from each other, walk out onto our porches, and go, We needed this. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not going to start raining here until later in the afternoon, because Karen's got a show in Smithville Art Walk, and it's not supposed to rain until like 4 or 5, and that's when the Art Walk ends, so should be able to be good through the day.
Wonderful time. I'll put in a call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Maybe I should use my phone to check the weather.
Yeah.
That one.
I'm so disappointed Evan hasn't called you yet. But he's a nice person, unlike me.
Even if he did, I wouldn't answer it at this point.
No, I know you wouldn't, but it would just be funny. But again, our disappointing producer. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it.
Well, I'm going to say choo-choo, motherfuckers, all aboard the SAG Cartoon Express. This is where every month Dan and I watch a different episode of an old video game-based cartoon, and this month we landed on Earthworm Jim, Season 1, Episode 5, Conqueror Worm, originally aired October 7th, 1995. According to IMDb, the synopsis is Jim's hero status is threatened when he is apparently caught on camera committing various crimes, but is an incident with a photocopier really to blame? Yes, it was.
In fact, spoilers. Jesus, Chris.
Can't
spoilers.
Jesus.
He's already been done. Never mind. Let's stop. That's right, Catholics. You get another week. Or something. I don't fucking know. Maybe we'll go after Methodists later. We'll see. We'll see where the night takes us.
So this was a reasonably entertaining episode.
Man, I'm so fucking gun shy because I don't remember what we said about it the last time. But I don't want to seem like a flip-flopping son of a bitch, but I don't remember what we said about the last episode we watched. But this was a perfectly enjoyable cartoon. Boy, was it wacky, though. They sure do love their wackiness.
Yeah, there were. I mean, this was the style at the time, right?
Sure.
Irreverent humor was absolutely the style at the time, and that's what this was going for. That kind of irreverent humor that Animaniacs did so very well.
Right.
And there were a handful of things. Like I remembered. I watched it. I watched this morning, and I remember during the short in the middle of the episode about Bob the Fish, whenever he talked about the Planet de Agua or whatever.
Yeah.
And every single time somebody says that, I remembered that joke as soon as he said it, because all throughout the series, any time somebody said the name of that planet, it was followed up with a little trumpet arriba. It was every single time. It was a very silly ass joke.
That part just instantly reminded me of the fucking critic, so I like that bit a lot. Actually, the other Raptors and I have built a crude suspension bridge from here to Venezuela. Once there, I shall assume odd jobs under the name Mr. Plinkington, but perhaps I've said too much. It's so fucking fun. Like, and that with the fish getting smart and like you're a megalomaniac, and we have to use our brain lasers to fucking kill you. Yeah. So the plot. Why was the hamster there? Why was the hamster there?
Not entirely sure.
What was his name? I've forgotten his name. Hamfuck the hamster. I think is what it was.
Name. I'm on the.
It probably wasn't that.
Let's see.
But like, it's just this really weird,
silly ass hamster related name.
Is he in the games?
See. No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Well,
like,
there was
I'm watching it
from the games in this that was really cool. His what's it? Hamstonator.
Hamfuck the hamster was better. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, just a bit for sure. No, when he was in jail, his cellmate was the first boss from the first game, the one who barfs up all the fish at you. Then kept using Jim as dental floss. That was a very strange plot thread there.
That was very strange. But like, so we start. So the episode starts with a joke I actually quite liked, as Jim and
Peter.
The fuck's the dog's name?
Peter.
Peter
Puppy. Yes.
Peter Puppy. Yes, Peter Puppy. Fuck, it's going to be one of those nights, and I do apologize. As we said before we started, it has been a long year today. Fuck. So the episode starts with them in a very traditional spy kind of trap, right? Being lowered over the vat of acid, and we're tied up and we have to get out and whatever. And Jim takes his hand out and he's like trying to get his claws out of his glove, and it keeps popping up with like random dumb Swiss Army knife shit. A corkscrew, rats. A bottle opener, rats. And like, but they only did 3 before they cut away, and he just said rats, rats, rats. That joke could have gone on for like another couple of beats and been really, really goofy and funny, because they go back to it after they escape, and he's like a lawn flamingo rat. Like, in that part, I legitimately laughed out loud. I was like, that's really fucking funny. I was kind of disappointed that they...
a little... No, go ahead.
No, I'm just rambling. I
was disappointed that he didn't pull rats. Like, I figured at a certain point, rats were going to come out. Like, that's where I thought the joke was going. And
that's fucking funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was some good comedy, and they really dropped the ball on that one.
But then immediately after that, we go to just the most dated reference that there could possibly be now of like, we're going to the coolest place on earth, the mall.
The mall. Oh,
nope.
Tragic. Not anymore.
It is tragic.
I used to love
mall was great. But then Jim and Hamfuck the hamster are walking around, and I thought this was another missed opportunity for a joke here, because like he's just putting shit in his mouth, but it wasn't nearly as funny as I wanted it to be, because he just had to keep shit in his cheeks. But there's one little bit where Jim starts slapping him and like a fucking kid comes out. Like, and that part was funny. I wanted there to be, for a show as wacky and irreverent as this is, I wanted that bit to be a little bit more wacky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I don't know. But then where do they go?
He tries to eat a photocopier.
A lamp store? Well, they go to the lamp store first.
There was a list of stores, right? Oh God! And I wrote it down in my notes, and my notes are in my phone, so I can't go look at them. But one of the one of the stores that they scrolled past, I thought was really funny. One of the store names was good stuff. But they went
and got frozen yogurt, which
gave Jim a brain freeze. Important plot point.
Yeah. But remember this for later. Brain freeze will be important. And then they end up at the copier store, that bastion of coolness that was in every mall, the copier store.
Yeah, you used to go to the mall and make copies all the time.
Oh, God.
That's what we used to do.
Me and Rob Schneider, you're right there, fucking making copies and being assholes. I don't know, man. It's going to be a weird one today. So they make the photocopy of Jim, and they mush him down, and they only copy like Jim's face and like neck area. But somehow that was enough for the toxic goo that's out in the landfill later from the Turl Walk, whatever the fuck. What was the name of the mall? It was some weird combination of letters. I didn't care for it. There's like a landfill outside, and the piece of paper that they photocopied Jim on is out there, and his head and neck was apparently enough to get the rest of his body and his gun. This is a really good fucking copy machine. I think is ultimately, as an ad for copy machines, this was a fabulous episode. That's all I got.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Because
Jim
filled in all
exactly
the
which
details.
copier it was, too. Like, he went to go eat that thing, and he knew exactly which one it was. And that's weird. So anyway, Evil Jim shows up, and he starts committing crimes, and he sees it on the news. He's like, oh no, it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation. And Peter Puppy's like, that's probably your, like, evil twin. That's a pretty common thing for, all superheroes have an evil twin. And he's just like, no, it's got to be me sleepwalking or something. And, so he turns himself in, he goes to jail. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Like, he went to jail. How did he get convinced?
He goes to jail and doesn't break out, even though there is a scene as his suit is walking down the hallway, like his head is like poked out through the fucking bars. But he just stays in.
He's an earthworm. He could have just like left whenever.
Very much could have. He gets turned into dental floss at that point. The
first boss in the first game.
Yeah. And then there's the weird bit with the fish for no fucking reason. I'll just throw that in the middle of it.
There's like a kind of midway short, which is an odd thing, but okay.
A midway short in a 22-minute episode. It was a fucking bold move. And that, why do they go back? Oh, that Peter Puppy and the snot. That's the fucking green thing, right? Snot. Yeah. Peter Puppy puts on a play at the dinner table, and that bit I thought was kind of funny. He was like, and I'm just a bowl of sugar, but I'm gonna barf too, because like he's throwing up all over like ketchup and mustard and shit.
Yeah, he was really losing it.
He really was. He starts fucking dumping jelly everywhere, covering his face in it. It's like, what the fuck is happening? After the day I've had, I'm not in the headspace for this currently.
As an aside, Evil Jim's voice is just Krusty the Clown.
Yeah.
It was 100% Krusty the Clown, which was
great. That was great. So then, why did they go back to the prison?
Peter decided that he was going to break Jim out. He was like, I can't live without him, so I'm going to go break Jim out. So then he goes to break him out, but that's when Jim decided to break out on his own. He burrowed out, and then Peter and Snot tried to break him out, and then they all met back up and faced off against Evil Jim. Look, it was
there were some funny gags there.
Yeah, there were some funny gags. It was pretty solid. It wasn't like this is super memorable. I watched it at the gym this morning, and it kept my mind occupied, so I wasn't thinking about the fact that I was running, and that was good enough. I really used to like this show when it was on back in the old days. I very much enjoyed watching it, and it's still pretty entertaining now. Dan Castellaneta is pretty great as Earthworm Jim. All the voice work is solid. The writing is okay. You can tell that it was like You can tell that it didn't have the budget of Warner Brothers cartoons like Animaniacs and Freakazoid and stuff.
Right.
Like, it definitely didn't have that budget. It doesn't look as good as those shows. But everybody involved seems to be, doing their best. And it's got some genuinely funny gags in it. It's not laugh out loud hysterical, like all-timer stuff like Animaniacs, but it's still pretty solid.
Yeah, I really... I really feel like if I had watched this, I'm just trying to get us ready for whatchamacallit, for listener mail. I really feel like if I would have watched, because I never watched this when I was a kid. I feel like if I would have watched this as a kid, I would have really, really enjoyed it. As an adult going back to it, it's fine. Like, it's perfectly watchable. There's nothing, this isn't bad by any stretch. I would go so far as to argue that it's actually pretty damn good. Like I said, I legitimately laughed out loud at a few different parts. I just don't have the nostalgia for it,
Yeah.
It's just not a thing
I have
that
a little bit of nostalgia for it. I don't specifically remember this episode, but, it was good.
It was good. Yeah. I enjoyed
good
it.
Stuff.
I enjoyed
so let's
it.
see. Let's go to the list here and see where we're going to rank it. Cartoon Express. There we are. So 2026, we've got Earthworm Jim. And what was this episode called again? Not called Evil Jim. It's called
Conqueror Worm.
Conqueror Worm.
Prepare for my arrival, Worm.
All right, so is this better than Campus Commandos? I say yes.
Yes.
Is it better? Look, I like this one better than anything else we've watched this year. I like it better than the one joke in Mario World that was vaguely funny. I like it better than that.
Than Vanilla Ice, whatever the fuck.
Vanilla Ice Age or whatever the hell it was.
Vanilla Ice Age, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I almost said Vanilla Ice Capades, and that is definitely not what it was. But now I really want to see them.
I would like to see that very much. I would watch the Vanilla Ice Capades.
Boo doo 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 twizzle doo 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 spin.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's right. A twizzle's an actual thing too, by the way. Don't fucking test me on my figure skating knowledge. Oh yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, love a good twizzle.
Involve spinning around? Is that why they're called Twizzlers?
No. It's like a back, like a wavy kind of thing.
Huh.
And then like flipping back and forth like a 180-degree turn on the skate. Yeah, there's a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's what Brian Boitano would do.
Learn something new every day.
It's probably kicking ass.
Solid episode. That's not too bad.
This was good. I enjoyed it. And this one falls into the like, yeah, it was fine. Moving on. Do
the feedback first or pick the next episode first?
Feedback first.
Yeah.
You want to start or you want me to start?
What kind of feedback do we have here? Let's see. Let's go to the Cartoon Express.
That's right. If you're not in our Discord, you could be. And you could have your feedback read. Like this feedback here from Chronodin. I shouldn't share that.
It's pretty long. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Let's do it. Chronodin says, I missed watching Earthworm Jim the last time around, so I'm excited to watch this time. It seemed to get pretty good reviews before. Hopefully that holds up. Okay. We start off with Jim and Peter Puppy being lowered into a vat of acid. Oh, I forgot all about that. Jim is trying to find the right gadget to work. That's right. That's when he was doing the gadget thing. And the puppy is like, use your gun. And I'm getting Inspector Gadget and Penny vibes here. Yeah, that's a good analog.
Yeah.
And now the intro sequence, which really is perfectly suited to old Jim here. Why did animators back in the day really like drawing chest hair? And on the chest of this already furry bear person thing. Yes, the hamster guy. Oh, it's the
excellent
hamster.
Point.
Of course. My bad. Yes. They really did like drawing chest hair. A lot of the jokes, oh my God, that was the joke. There was one joke, he was saying, whip me, whip me, whip me, and Peter Puppy's like,
what?
That one was not for the kids.
No. Pretty funny, though.
I forgot, that was that, I wrote that one down.
Let's see. This one, too. It's not to be taken orally. I thought that one was kind of funny. Yeah, I chuckled at that. I was like, man, anytime you mention oral, I'm going to chuckle because I'm a 5-year-old ultimately. 15? I don't feel like 5-year-olds get that joke.
No.
You know?
So let's see, a lot of the jokes so far felt a little forced or gags I've seen plenty of times before, but that's a super jumbo color copier. It's not to be taken orally is pretty good. The fact that it's said to a hamster also potentially leads to other thoughts I don't need to mention.
But definitely M. Wow.
Okay, for once, I'd like a cartoon to draw someone locked up in a jail with bars that are close enough together that they could actually keep the character in jail.
No, it's too much money. It's too many bars.
I could have done without the excessive shots of Jim's cellmate using him for dental floss. Gross, yeah. I swear every voice in this show, I swear I've heard before. I know Jim is Homer Simpson. I feel like the rest are probably just Jim Cummings. Yeah, they've been in, every voice in this show has been in a lot of different cartoons. I don't get why we're suddenly in a segment of the show with a fish giving all the other fish larger brains. God, why the flossing again? Snot's face while Peter is expressing his feelings via dramatic retelling. I feel the same way, Snot. I suspect that Slopper Dammerung, the Twilight of the Condiments, is a reference to Wagner's Ring Cycle that might have gone over most kids' heads. Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
I disagree. I know kids. Big Wagner fans, the kids these days. It's Sabrina Carpenter, Wagner. Then right below Sabrina Carpenter. Lots of kids really surprised that Wagner was not at Coachella last weekend. Shocked to find out he's been dead for hundreds of years.
He had a pretty good excuse. If Evil Jim is off terrorizing the entire country, including staging a coup of the United States government, wouldn't someone at some point be like, oh, hey, Jim's innocent. Let him out so he can save the day? No. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. And now Peter is quoting Dune? Whip me, whip me, whip me. I beg your pardon? I see what you did there. One for the grown-ups. Okay, it finally hit me. Evil Jim, also voiced by Dan Castellaneta, sounds like Krusty the Clown. He almost did the Krusty laugh at one point, too. Who is the master who makes the grass green? And now he's quoting Robert Anton Wilson. I feel like the writers are really overestimating the literary depth of their audience here. Yeah, see, I don't think any of these jokes were for the audience. I think they were just doing this for themselves.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Pulls gun. Aha! Evil Jim just knocks it out of his hand. Oh, man. This is the funniest moment of the show so far. That was pretty great.
Because he doesn't knock it out of his hand. He gently flicks it away.
He's just like, no. He almost did the Krusty laugh again, and Jesus Christ, they're really committed to this floss bit. Final thoughts. It was okay. The animation quality was, in general, pretty decent. It has several huge names in voice acting in the 90s, and they're doing okay, if not trying a bit too hard. But that's sort of how the whole episode felt. It was like it was trying a little too hard. A lot of the jokes I felt like I've heard before. There really wasn't much new material, and it was maybe a bit too self-referential at times. The most original gag was the floss bit, which just felt a little too ick for me, especially when Jim seemed to start to enjoy it by the end. Shudder. Overall, it had some really good things going for it, but it was held back by a script that felt like it was done by writers who couldn't figure out how to give the show an identity of its own. I rate it 2.5 Walter's gross teeth out of 5. Well said.
That's fair. We also have some feedback from Duroc Pig. This episode felt fine. Not as good as the previous episode of Earthworm Jim we watched, but it had some moments. The you have to stop putting things in your cheeks got a genuine laugh out of me. Tiff keeps telling me that. Stop telling me how to live my life, Jim. Also, I wonder if Hamsternator is connected to the hamster you ride in one of the games. Maybe that was it.
Maybe.
Also, I feel like the getting used as dental floss is referencing another thing the prison bitch is expected to do, but maybe that's just me and my perverted mind. Still very watchable compared to other shows we've seen. What type of prisons have you been to, sir? That is not how prisons operate. Prison bitch is just not a thing. But maybe it is. I didn't get that from it, but now that you say it, I don't not get it, you know? Especially where he starts to enjoy it by the end. Shudder. Yeah. And then finally, Who do we have to finish it up? RC Mets, Earthworm Jim. Fuck Tommy Tallarico. Oh, wait, the show, not the game. Sorry,
any
TT.
Excuse to say it. Any excuse to say it. It's fine.
FTT.
Well, yeah, that's Earthworm Jim. Let's see what's next.
It was genuinely fine.
Bring up the old Wheel of Names here from wheelofnames.com. Sponsor of the show. It's not true.
Sponsor of the show, big time.
Welcome
to the Wheel of Names podcast, brought to you by the Stone Age Gamers on geekade.com.
Yes, indeed. So wheelofnames.com gives us this wonderful wheel. We've got all the other shows remaining that we haven't watched an episode of yet. So let's give it a spin and see what happens.
I thought we were sponsored by Quip. I don't know.
Oh, we landed on Pole Position. We haven't watched Pole Position.
I mean, I have,
that's right.
But not
the Pole Position cartoon. Oh, boy.
Not the cartoon.
Okay. What's your pole position, Dan?
You know.
Standing tall.
You've seen the documentary.
I have. All right, let's see here. What episode of Pole Position will we be watching? Oh, what are the odds? We landed on Season 1, Episode 1, The Code. So we will be watching Pole Position, Season 1, Episode 1, The Code, based on the classic arcade game Pole Position. I can't imagine
based on the classic story-heavy arcade racer Pole Position.
Yes, indeed. There's no way this is going to be anything other than fantastic.
There definitely isn't.
There you go, folks. That's the first segment of the show. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're going to catch up with week-old news. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around.
He's such a groovy guy. He rockets through the sky, cruising through the universe, having lots of fun.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. Anyways, Bruce, hey,
yeah,
we're back. Welcome back. We did it. We returned
to the stage.
Yes, to the stage of history. Yeah. Ellie came down, talked to Dan. I drank a glass of chocolate milk. It's really not all that exciting.
No, I mean it was fine.
Yeah, I mean the Phillies loaded the bases and then did absolutely nothing with it. So it was fun, exciting, good times. Everybody had a good time. Lots of smiles and good times involved. Anyways, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. And first up, Time Extension reports Atari strengthens its emulation of classic PS1, PS2, and PS3 games with another strategic acquisition. Implicit Conversions joins Atari's list of studios. So, Implicit Conversions has been purchased by Atari. This is This is another one of those acquisitions that makes a whole lot of sense. It's one of those, like, this is only going to do good for all parties involved kind of things, as far as I can tell, because so far it's worked out pretty well for Digital Eclipse and Night Dive Studios. And so Implicit Conversions is, notably in the past, it has been behind many of the titles brought to PS5 and PS4 as part of the PS Plus Premium's range of games. Sorry, I had a little thing in there. Had also been involved with other retro-related projects like Exy Games, Milano's Odd Job Collection, Digital Eclipse's Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition, and limited run games Fighting Force Collection, Fear Effect, and Fear Effect 2, to name just a few titles it has had its hands in. So yeah, that seems like a pretty good job.
That was pretty cool. You know what's not cool,
they
Chris?
Announced it on their X account, their Twitix account, with a Simpsons theme. So,
is that what we're calling it?
Sure, why not? Yeah, they did the Kent Brockman thing, but they put a picture of Centipede in the background and said, "I, for one, welcome our new Atari overlords." I like these guys. Well done.
I like that. Yeah. You know what I don't like? There you go. I'm still going to fucking segue. You like how I did that?
Do it.
Nintendo Life reports that Metroid Prime Remastered studio Iron Galaxy, I believe is how you pronounce it, announces more layoffs. No, that's shitty. Iron Galaxy also released Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 last year.
I did not know that I thought Retro did it in-house. I did not know that a different studio worked with Retro on Prime Remastered, and I didn't know it was the same studio that did the Tony Hawk remaster.
Yeah. They threw out just, again, a tone-deaf... I don't know that there's a good way to write these emails, but, today Iron Galaxy Studios regrets to announce that we are reducing our company size. A number of teammates and friends are losing their jobs as we adjust to a new company structure. We are terribly sorry to lose them as we take steps to put more money in our pockets. To adapt to the climate of the video game industry. It's time for us to evolve again. Just blah, blah, blah. We hate losing people. They're talented folks. And like, it sucks that people are losing their job. Iron Galaxy's not a huge studio. But, like, just be honest about it. It's okay.
Yeah. You gotta kind of wonder, like, what would it have taken for them to not have to lay off people? See, it carried over the past year, even after the previous round of layoffs, which saw 66 employees depart.
Yeah. They've worked on Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Overwatch for Switch. They helped with the Xbox version of Killer Instinct. So, like, they've worked on some decent shit,
Speaking of decent shit, Time Extension reports, humbling and deeply inspiring. Neo Geo Plus production forecasts increased after overwhelming response. This truly feels like the beginning of something new. That's kind of good to hear, because I think they initially said there was only going to be like 1,000 of these or something like that. No.
That wouldn't have been enough.
You're threatening to make an affordable Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to entice some folks. So I'm glad to hear that they're making more of them. I'm very interested in this thing. Obviously not for myself. I've never been enough of a Neo Geo fan to spend the money on one. But just as interesting, the Neo Geo space is very, 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 very interesting. Because I, as somebody who works for this website, watching the amount of Neo Geo stuff that sells and the price that it sells at is like just completely insane to me. But good on people. Like, do not looking down my nose at it. It's like,
no,
it's just
certainly.
It's just such a foreign thing to me. But
it's just that end of the pool is a little too deep,
Yeah. It's just
always has been
completely out of my reach. But this is a considerably more affordable way to get this stuff, and if it really is what they say it is, I think this is going to be a pretty cool thing, and I would be very interested to see other companies follow a similar suit.
It's just, there's still just some questionable shit, like, and there's questionable shit like with the ownership of SNK, and there's some legit morality concerns for that sort of stuff. For some people, they don't give a shit at all, and it's just video games. I'm not saying you should think one way or another. What I'm actually not more concerned about, but just a different lens of thinking about this thing is what does the future of this look like, right? So, like, are we just talking Neo Geo games, or are we talking new Neo Geo games? Like you said, there's a ton of homebrew for this. There's new Neo Geo shit that comes out all the time. But Neo Geo has never been really a home console experience. It's been arcade perfect games at your house.
Yes, it's the arcade experience at home. To your previous point, though, I do want to read something that we got sent to us. Tidbit Retro commented on last week's podcast on YouTube, and he said, I pre-ordered the AES Plus not because I support the regime behind it. I'd just feel hypocritical boycotting it because my life is full of various devices whose materials were harvested by slave labor, assembled in some third world sweatshop, and much, much worse. So to draw the line at the Neo Geo would just feel kind of disingenuous, to me at least. People got to make that decision for themselves, though. And that's an excellent point. But to which I responded to him, well said. We all do what we can where we can. That's really what it comes down to. You got to figure out how you want to handle these things. How you want to handle these things yourself. It's really no skin off my back to not support Neo Geo personally, because I've never been a fan of Neo Geo. Right. I think it's interesting, but the games are just so not for me, especially at the prices that they are. Like, I think King of the Monsters is cool, but I'm not going to play it for more than 5 minutes. Like, I love the original Samurai Showdown. It's just
not your thing.
Yeah. It's just not my thing. So that's an easy thing, And if it turned out that Nintendo was super duper evil, that would be something I'd really have to consider. There's just a lot to it.
Right, because the same I don't remember the little like forward facing company that owns SNK now owns 4 or 5% of Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And Capcom, and so there is. It is one of those things where, we've talked about it a whole bunch of times on this show. Of like, there really is no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism. Like, that is just not a thing that exists. So, like you said, you kind of have to draw the line where you can. Or where you want to, where like you feel this particular, the line is here and no further, and that's it, And like I said, if you are chomping at the bit for this particular thing, I fucking get it. I get it. Like, an affordable way to enter the Neo Geo space is just kind of a massive deal. Right, that it's always been the fucking holy grail, right? Like, this is just the expensive thing that this unobtainium kind of thing. Being able to enter that market and play in that particular sandbox is really cool and really enticing. I'm certainly not going to sit here and be like, fuck anybody who pre-orders this, you know what I mean? It's not an Amico.
Yeah. Ha ha.
Anyway, Time Extension reports Retrobit is blessing 2 more 16-bit cult classics with physical re-releases. Retrobit has revealed that first up is Wolf Team's 1991 fantasy hack-and-slash action title Arcus Odyssey for the Genesis and Mega Drive, which was a spin-off of the wider Arcus series on Japanese home computers. I know you're a big fan, Kris. You can speak to that in a minute. And then they're also talking, they are releasing a physical version of Riot's Psycho Dream, a cult classic platformer from 1992 that was never re-released or never released outside of Japan. It did get a digital release on modern systems in 2025 from Ratalaika Games. I have heard of both of these games before and have not played either of them. Do you have any?
Yes, Psycho Dream showed up on Nintendo Switch Online last year, and
right.
I did not care for it. So when I saw this story,
did we play Psycho Dream? Maybe we did.
No, we talked about it. We didn't. It wasn't like for anything. I just know that when it came out on Switch Online, I talked about it a little bit because I played a few minutes of it, and I don't get it. It was fine. But it was not. It just struck me at one of those like, wow, really? This has a following? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I did not play this. I'm looking at it right now.
I just thought it was a real interesting bit of like, okay, let's make physical cartridges for that thing. Go nuts.
I mean, hey, if you got the $60 to throw at it, it's a nice looking cartridge. Like it's got a cool blue color and like. You know, for Psycho Dream, anyway, and then Arcus Odyssey. I know that like I said, I know both of these titles.
I know the name.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah,
Retrobit puts out some weird shit.
Yeah, they do their thing, man. They do their thing. Well, let's see. Speaking of doing their thing, the Go Nintendo reports, and this I just put in for purely selfish reasons because I love this game. Reminder, Sayonara Wild Hearts and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes are now available on Switch 2 with free Switch upgrades. Sayonara Wild Hearts is one of my favorite games that I think I've ever played, and I'm looking forward to messing around with the Switch 2 version because it includes the Remix Arcade mode, previously unavailable on Nintendo Switch. This mode turns up the heat, featuring progressively faster and challenging gameplay where players must aim for high scores and random song bites with zero loading. That sounds like a hoot. And I still have yet to try Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, but I'm gonna. Just, as soon as I get the chance or have an excuse to. But yeah, I'll probably mess around with Sayonara Wild Hearts Switch 2 edition as soon as I get a few extra minutes. I'm, a little bogged down in gaming right now. I haven't had enough time to do much, and I have a lot of Earthbound to play in the next month, so we'll see.
Yeah. I'm jumping right from Saros kind of right to Earthbound, although I fucking bought Vampire Crawlers today.
I bought that as well. We'll talk about that later.
I haven't played it yet, but okay. I played the demo, but I bought it today because I'm an idiot. Anyway, Polygon reports Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Switch 2 this summer, but there's a Nintendo tax. Existing subscribers get a discount, though. Square Enix is bringing Final Fantasy 14 to Nintendo Switch 2 in August, but there's a slight catch to how it'll work. Square Enix CEO made the announcement, blah, blah, blah. Normally, if you own Final Fantasy 14 on multiple platforms, you can play it on any of them using the same subscription. However, on the Switch 2, it will require a second subscription after users purchase the game. If you already have a Final Fantasy 14 subscription for other platforms, though, you will get 50% off of this subscription. You do not need a Nintendo Switch Online subscription to do so. And this is... it doesn't have a price here in front of it. So I don't actually know how much a subscription for this is. I suppose we should have looked that up. I should have looked that up. But this, I don't know. Why is this happening?
I don't know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Like,
well, I feel like this isn't the first time this has happened either. Like, I feel like a Final Fantasy online game of some flavor showed up somewhere where you needed to pay for the subscription to that in addition to like Xbox Live or something. Like this has happened before, and I can't remember exactly where. So it's not like it's the newest thing in the world, but it's also like, I mean, really? Come on, man.
It's not what you want.
No.
It's not what you want.
I'll tell you what I do want, though, is Sega Universe. I don't know what this is. IGN reports Sega Universe Initiative highlights Outrun, Streets of Rage, and more. So basically, like, there's this Sega Universe website. It's a new initiative called Sega Universe. Tagged No Old Stay Gold. That's not really great. Born in the past, transcending generations and borders, it continue to live on even beyond games. So basically, it's a website that you go to, and they got like Fantasy Zone, Outrun, Streets of Rage, Rent a Hero, Guardian Heroes, Nights into Dreams, Dynamite Deca, Sakura Wars, and SGGG or Sega Gaga. And it's like little page where you can look at stuff, like music from those games or something like that. And there's a little trailer that gives it like a nostalgia hit. But we don't know what it's doing yet. Like, we don't know anything like this. Are there going to be new games? And
I mean, you kind of hope so, right? Because that last, like, quick hitter that they did was, like, Streets of Rage 4, Shinobi, didn't they say Golden Axe, too?
That new Streets of Rage hasn't happened.
Or no, the new Streets of Rage, you're right. That wasn't...
Yeah. The only thing that's come out so far is the Shinobi, as far as I know.
Okay.
But they were talking about, I think, Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Sega knows that they have a bunch of properties. They know that they have a bunch of games in their history that people love. Like, I would love to see a new Fantasy Zone. Love to see a new Outrun, Hero, Guardian Heroes, Nights into Dreams, Sakura Wars, Sega Gaga. Yeah.
A new Comic Zone could be so fucking dope. Legit, I'm not being an asshole. It could be super cool. I completely
agree. There's a lot of...
a new Kid Chameleon. I fucking love that game. It's not good.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is just a weird thing. It's interesting. I like to see Sega, at least throwing these names out there. But what does this mean? Are we going to get something? Will Opa Opa fly again? We don't know.
Maybe.
I sure hope so.
I sure hope so. I don't think I see this in week old news, so I'm just gonna throw it in there, Kris, and because this was like the biggest fucking story of the week, I think. Polygon reports that Xbox Game Pass gets a price drop under new CEO.
Oh,
but there's a catch. There's a catch, Kris. Following a leaked memo from Xbox CEO Ashish Sharma, Microsoft is officially lowering the price of Game Pass. Starting today, the top tier, this was a couple days ago, Game Pass Ultimate subscription costs $22.99, down from $29.99. The PC-specific version of Game Pass will now be $14, a few dollars less than its previous price tag of $16.50. The catch is what is included in these tiers and when. According to Microsoft, everything that is currently included in either subscription will remain available after the price change. However, future Call of Duty games, including this year's unannounced Call of Duty entry, will no longer be day one releases on Game Pass. Instead, newer Call of Duty games will be available on Game Pass the following holiday season or about a year after they release. There are a couple of different places where they break all this down, and I do think that this is definitely a step in the right direction, right? Like we talked, it was last week or the week before, where a leaked memo came out, and it was like, hey, it is too fucking expensive. Like, yeah, it definitely is. So they lowered the price. They did take away arguably one of the biggest selling points of the service, though, was the new Call of Duty game. So, Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox Live, I said the Game Pass continues to be very interesting. It's certainly something.
It is certainly something.
The world of modern video games is very, very strange.
It is.
But something a little bit more easy to digest here. Nintendo Life reports Splatoon Raiders Switch 2 price and box art have been revealed. So, Splatoon Raiders has been kind of floating around in the ether for a while. It was announced a little while back, and nobody really knew exactly what it was. Now we know. It is a single-player focused Splatoon game, which makes me very happy because I've always kind of wanted one of those. And it's going to be $49.99 digital and $60 physical. Which is like, oh, that's like normal game pricing. When did that happen? That's pretty cool. The box art looks good. The trailer they showed off looks really good. It looks like basically a single-player version of Salmon Run with other things thrown in for good measure. Splatoon's single-player content's always been pretty solid. The mechanics obviously are built around this multiplayer thing, but they work really well for a single-player game too. So if this game is half as clever as like the single-player content and like the Octo expansion and stuff, this could be a really cool game. I'm very interested in this one. So
yeah. And this is kind of what you were talking about, right? Of like, where's the big Switch 2 thing?
Yeah, this is something. It's kind of weird that it's still kind of weird that we don't have a Nintendo Direct. So like,
yeah,
what's going on here, guys? But we'll get one eventually, and it's just nice to see that there's something kind of a big name coming out. That's I hope they can build up a decent amount of hype around it because it's an original thing, and
it is
what we need more of.
I hope it's great. Fucking Splatoon is awesome, man. Splatoon's great.
Hard to agree.
Yeah. Continuing on with the Xbox news that you neglected to put in the document because you just hate Microsoft. Push Square reports that Xbox is flip-flopping on PS5 again, and it's getting truly tiring. So in addition to this leaked memo that came out, right, with the Games Pass pricing change, there were a couple other bits that have made their way out. One of the things that has gotten people kind of excited, and it legitimately was the thing I was the most interested in, is that they have rebranded the Microsoft gaming division back to Xbox, which I think is a good sign going forward, right? Because make no mistake, you and I have said from the very, very beginning that the industry is better when there's three big players. It just is. They have also said, they've got all their buzzwords and all their slogans, right? Xbox will be where the world plays, as long as the world is the United States and we ignore numbers literally everywhere else. But they have talked about their exclusivity, right? If you remember back in the day, there were the four games that were announced. And it was like Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment, or I forget what the other one was. Grounded, maybe, were like the four games that they announced were going to other consoles. But it was like, okay, but like, what about Indiana Jones and Starfield, though? Like, those are the ones we actually are concerned about. And they never, like, confirmed. It was never a big presentation. It was just like, oh, yeah, these are eventually coming, right? And we've gotten Indiana Jones, and, it was really good. Starfield is coming soon, or it might already be out. I'm not entirely sure. Because it's just not a game that tracks for me, right? And Forza has sold, I think, 4 or 5 million copies on PlayStation, which is wild. I mean, Forza's great. That's really awesome. But one of the things that was mentioned in their memo is that they are going to reevaluate its approach to exclusivity. And that has now put people thinking about, like, are they legitimately going to go back with Project Helix and really push for this to be an exclusive? These games are Xbox games, and we're not a third-party publisher. It's been such a wild ride with the Xbox over the last, like, year and a half about what the fuck is even happening. It's so weird.
Yeah, they need an identity. And exclusive games are kind of how you build an identity. And I know you've always been super fond of the notion of, there shouldn't be exclusives, everything should be played everywhere. But I don't always necessarily hold to that, because I think that's part of what gives a platform its unique personality. It's like, these are the games that we make. And so we're going to make them for our system as best we can, and that's how this is going to work. And as happy as I am to have Indiana Jones coming to the Switch too, it's just kind of, that kind of stuff's kind of weird. Like, I guess you want to put your games where they're going to sell the best, but you also want your platform to be where they're going to sell the best. So theoretically, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because I still stick by, I don't like exclusivity. I never have. But I get it. It's one of those necessary evils. But like, a year is fine. After a year, port it. You know what I mean? Like, port it. Just put it everywhere else and let other people buy it on their system or play it on their system. And one of the reasons that it really has stuck out to me as an idea over these last couple of years is because of things like we talked about, of Iron Galaxy having to lay people off. Like, how many copies of the Metroid Prime trilogy remastered, whatever the fuck, I forget, whatever that whole title is, right? How many more
Metroid Prime Remastered?
Metroid Prime Remastered, sorry. I'm really fucking tired. I don't know where I am. How many more copies of that would have sold if after a year of being on Switch, you could get it on PlayStation, or you could get it on an Xbox, or fuck, you could even just get it on Steam, right? Would that have been enough for people to keep their jobs? As opposed to this silly, antiquated idea of forever exclusivity. I get a year, fine, because I'm going to buy the new God of War day one, right? I'm going to. That's just that's the reason that I have a PlayStation, is so that I can buy the God of War on day one, that I can buy Spider-Man day one. The reason I have a Switch is so that I can theoretically eventually buy something on day one. And the reason I don't have an Xbox is because while I am interested in some of their exclusive titles, there's nothing that they have put out that I have been interested enough to day one buy, right? But a year later, I definitely will, like I did with Indiana Jones, So I don't know. It just seems like such a silly old way of doing things to me.
I don't necessarily agree with it. I think that that's part of each one of that's part of their personalities. Like, if it's temporary exclusivity, like with third parties, I think that makes sense. But if it's first party stuff, okay, then who cares if I don't get God of War on day one? I'll just wait till it comes out on my platform, so I have no reason to buy it there. But then that's other resources that Sony has to dedicate to porting their games to other platforms. And after that year, that game no longer becomes a reason to buy their platform. It's very short-sighted as far as, like, business proposition of, like, well, this is why you buy our platform, because if you're new to the PlayStation ecosystem and you've never played Uncharted and God of War and the Sly Cooper or whatever the hell else, like, now you can, but you can't get those anywhere else. That'd be like Nintendo putting Mario on PlayStation. That just devalues Nintendo's exclusivity with Mario completely, because, like, okay, well, for 1 year you will be able to play, like, look at Mario Kart 8. If Mario Kart 8 was ported to other platforms, then it never would have sold a bajillion copies on Switch. Or maybe it would have, but it would have diluted it. Like, they would have made that money, but they would not have also tied it to those Switch sales, which then sells more of their software in their ecosystem. Like, the point of those things is to draw people into that ecosystem. If they are only temporarily exclusive, then that devalues that proposition so much, it just dilutes it to being almost pointless. Like, okay, well, it's a year there, but, like, what about somebody who's buying a Switch 3 years into the Switch's lifetime? They don't care. Like, that game has no longer become a selling point for that platform. And that's kind of what the exclusives are part of the whole thing of, it's not just about that first year, it's about the entire life cycle of that platform. These are our things. And if you want to experience Sony PlayStation games, you got to get them on PlayStation. If you want to experience these kinds of games, this is what we do. Then this is where you do them, because these are the systems that they were created for. I mean, Microsoft has lost that. Microsoft has completely lost track of that. And you've kind of seen this in PlayStation stuff, right? PlayStation's PC ports haven't gone the way that they wanted them to. Even MLB The Show is like, it's great that it's on other platforms, but it's like, it's not like that Switch version is so good. It's like, it's there and it functions and it's fun to play. It's solid, but the whole thing has become diluted because those resources now need to be put into, instead of putting all of those resources into the next version, it's now they are putting these resources, the same ones, into making an Xbox port and a Nintendo port. And where it used to be like, yeah, it sucks that that's the only good baseball game, but it's like, that's Sony did that's their thing. So yeah, the other companies should make their own good baseball games. Now you've got other things like Madden and whatnot that just bought the NFL because everything's fucking terrible, but that's kind of a different conversation. When we're talking about stuff like Mario, or we're talking about God of War, or we're talking about Halo, seeing those things on other platforms, it kind of devalues like that this is the home of what those are. And I think that's very important to a platform's identity, which we're seeing the complete negative effects of that with Xbox. What the fuck is Xbox anymore? What is the point of owning an Xbox if pretty much everything you can get on Xbox is available elsewhere? Like, if you get a PlayStation, you can play pretty much all the Xbox exclusive content as well as all the exclusive PlayStation content. So what's the point of getting an Xbox other than user interface? Right? They've diluted their own brand so much. They have. Xbox as a notion has become weirdly irrelevant. So if they want that to no longer be the case, they have to offer something that you can't get somewhere else. Because that's the only reason to get an Xbox, is if you get something out of owning that you can't get somewhere else. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're wrong, but okay. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I don't disagree with any of what you said. I really don't. It doesn't entirely change the way I feel, but I don't disagree. You know,
well, I think what you're saying would work better if video games were standardized like DVDs or Blu-rays. If games were just games and like anybody can make a games player, now games are for everyone, right? If the industry could standardize, now granted that's different with games because people want to make different games that do different things, right? The Switch is intrinsically different from the PlayStation, from the controller, like the Joy-Cons and that kind of thing, all of it from scratch, right? And even PC gaming can't truly standardize because technology keeps improving and changing, and so it doesn't really work quite like movies. But if it could...
No, it definitely doesn't.
Then if you could just get rid of exclusivity by standardizing the market entirely, now that's a horse of a different color. Now we're having a different conversation because it's not intrinsically tied to a hardware platform. And like if anybody can make them, then whoever can make them, and all these companies that make the games can just dedicate their existences to making the games. But when you have companies like Nintendo and Sony specifically that like to do unique things with their platforms and then build games around them, right? Like the way the DualSense works with stuff like Astrobot, you can't really do that on Switch. Just like the weird things you can do with Joy-Cons, you can't really do on PlayStation because it's baked into the hardware. So there's always going to be, games are such a unique market because of those kinds of things, because you can change the way you interact with them in very specific ways. You can't really do that with other mediums. So anyway, Polygon reports Echo the Dolphin is getting a new definitive collection.
Well done.
That's what I call a transition. I So we've been hearing for a while that there was going to be a new Echo the Dolphin game, and apparently now this new Echo the Dolphin game is going to be a part of the definitive collection. It's going to be called Echo the Dolphin Complete, and much like the Bubsy Perfect collection, it is not, in fact, complete. Which bothers me.
Yeah.
Echo the Dolphin Complete will include all versions of the original Echo the Dolphin and Echo the Tides of Time, both of which were originally released on Sega Genesis. Ports of those two Echo games were later released for Sega CD, Sega Game Gear, and Sega Master System. As for the new Echo game, included as part of Echo the Dolphin Complete, A&R Atelier describes the new title as a journey into the modern era, weaving the history of the franchise together into a single, unified experience. Here's what's missing. Not included in the collection, apparently, is the third game of the franchise, Echo the Defender of the Future, which was released for Sega Dreamcast in 2000 and later ported to the PlayStation 2. It's also unclear if the more kid-friendly spin-off Echo Jr. will be featured. You can't call it complete then, bitches! Because if it doesn't have Echo Defender of the Future or Echo Jr., then it is not complete. It is just a collection of the first two Echo games and a new Echo. Echo Defender of the Future, I remember rather liking that game. I haven't touched it in 26 years. but I remember when it came out on Dreamcast thinking, this is pretty neat, and then I bought it, and I played a little more of it and said, yeah, this is pretty neat. And then something shiny happened. I don't know.
But it is complete in the fact that it is finished. So technically, they're not
it's
lying.
That kind of complete. It is complete kind of in that it is made of complete dolphin.
I'm interested into your opinion on this story that I am surprising you with. Engadget reports that Vampire Survivors developer Ponkel is opening more studios and has over 15 projects in the works. According to an interview in the game business conducted with the company's chief strategy officer, Matteo Sapio, it's opening 2 new studios in Japan and Italy and has over 15 projects in active development. Sapio says the company is developing 3 basic types of games. There are spin-offs to Vampire Survivors, like this week's, as we will talk about soon, Vampire Crawlers, original IPs, and it is working on some roguelites with similar mechanics to Vampire Survivors, but using other IPs, which we got a preview of that last week in one of the showcases called Warhammer Survivors, which is basically just Vampire Survivors, but with Warhammer 40K dressing, right? And it goes on to say in the article, if you're wondering if that genre is big enough for this sort of thing, Vampire Survivors has surpassed 27 million players. So, yes, it is. I'm wondering, though, without spoiling what you're going to say about Vampire Crawlers, 15 games in development from a studio this small? Like, I'm really nervous about that.
Yeah, I agree. It is not something that fills me with confidence. Why are there kids stomping around at 9:05 in my house?
Well,
there's definitely
because
some stomping around.
They're bastards, clearly. Vampire Survivors is, as we have said many times, just among the best $5 you can spend. It is the game that is just so fucking worth $5. So worth $5. It's insane. And I am very, very excited about Vampire Crawlers. Berserker Die was not super fun. I bought it because it was Ponkel, and I was like, all right, I'm in. And man, I think I played it for 15, 20 minutes, something like that, and just have never gone back to it because it just wasn't super fun. 15 games seems like a lot for this studio.
It does,
for this company.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, good on them for trying. I just hope it doesn't lead to like a bunch of layoffs if a bunch of stuff doesn't go their way, you know?
Right? This is what I'm saying.
Someone wants to do something, and he told me to tell you to not shut his Chromebook. Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm coming over and shutting the Chromebook. I'll be right there.
What the hell could he be doing?
Fishing with a cat.
He hasn't played that in a while.
That's it. I'm not adding anything else.
Let's wrap this up. Time Extension reports this wristwatch-sized Game Boy Color doesn't use emulation and runs physical carts. Not original physical carts. They're like tiny little physical carts.
But can it play Doom?
Well, apparently there's a Game Boy Color version of Doom in the works, so it's a Game Boy Color that you put on your wrist. It's very hard to play because the buttons are like on the side. There's no sound. It's an extremely compromised experience, but it's just crazy enough to barely work.
It's just crazy enough to barely work. I mean, I kind of love that this exists, right? It's so
same
weird.
Here. Like, I just love that somebody's going through the trouble of trying to make this nightmare a reality, and
yeah,
bless you.
It's so weird. But hey, that's awesome.
It is awesome. And you know what else is awesome? Taking a break and finding out what the fuck my kids are up to.
Yeah.
So that is that wraps things up for this week's rendition of Week Old News. We're going to take ourselves a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to check in with the Checkpoint. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
All right, everybody, we're back. Dan was talking about, what is it? The end of... What is
the remake? The remake of the end of the greatest RPG of all time. Yeah,
fantastic.
It looks like such a weird game. I get a lot of Inscription vibes from it. I'm really, really interested in this game. And I was just talking to Ken over at ZTGD about reviewing the game, and I was like, look, if there's no codes for it or whatever, I'm gonna buy it anyway, so like I will absolutely do the review if nobody else is interested in doing it. But I know like that's a game that's getting a lot of attention from people's so yeah, you know. Anyway.
Neat. Well,
yeah.
I guess that means it's time for us to check in with the checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
This is the checkpoint. This is where we talk about what's been going on in our lives.
And we've done so.
We've done so. That's it. Good night, everyone. No, I had very little time for video games this week. I did try some Vampire Crawler. I played a little bit more Mario Wonder. And I played some Vampire Crawlers. I bought the game, even though I looked at it and said, I don't know that this is for me. These kind of card games aren't really my thing, but let's give it a shot. And so I did, and I don't know, man. It's I told everybody I'd keep trying. Not that I don't enjoy it, not that it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. Like, that's absolutely not what's going on here. It's just not necessarily... I haven't quite figured out the strategy, because right now I'm just like, play cards, mash the button until I win, and then keep walking. I was doing the inlaid library, so the second area just earlier this afternoon. Yeah, and I started falling asleep because I was very tired, and I think maybe I was starting to see some semblance of strategy in it, but I didn't quite get it.
It hasn't quite clicked yet.
Yeah, it hasn't quite clicked that there's any advantage to doing anything in any order other than just what shows up.
Okay.
So I don't know, these kinds of card games, they just aren't my thing. It looks neat. I like the music, and I have to assume that there is some sort of actual depth and strategy to it, because there seems to be. I just kind of feel like the whole time I'm looking at it like I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm having enough fun to warrant the time I'm putting into it. But I'll give it a little bit more. I'll give it a little bit more of a shot again at some point in the not too distant future, just because, you know, I kind of owe it that. I love Vampire Survivors so much that, and this is clearly well made. Everybody else seems to be really enjoying it, so I don't know.
I picked it up today. I'm very excited to get into it. I don't know when I'm going to have time to get into it, because we've now got well, I mean, maybe most importantly, a Bubsy 4D demo came out today, so like I'm going to have to check that out.
I assume it was the same as the Steam demo, which I played already, so I was like, all right, that's fine. I'm good.
But we've got DK King of Swing to talk about, and then Earthbound, which requires a significant investment of time. You know, so I don't know how much time I'll have to put into Vampire Crawlers, but like you, I felt obligated is a weird word, but obligated, for lack of a better word, to pick this game up. So I'll let you know. I'm definitely going to put time into it this week. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from what I've been doing to put some time into it, you know.
I have a few other things I want to mention.
Mention them.
First, I want to talk about tacos. So, I love tacos. This is not a surprise. I'm a big taco fan. I make bullshit white people tacos. And I think they're absolutely fucking delicious. I love my white people tacos. And I have a few specific things that I'm very, very fond of in my bullshit white people tacos. I use Old El Paso fat-free refried beans. Now, I've always liked the fat-free refried beans ever since I was a kid because they don't have lard in them. It's everything in the regular refried beans minus the lard. And for whatever reason, that's just super appealing to me. They are so fucking delicious. Now, generally speaking, I don't heat them up, which you should, and I am learning that now, that they are way better when you heat them up. I always put them on cold because I'm a fucking savage. But I'm learning now that heating up refried beans is a good situation.
In a history of white people shit, that may be the whitest fucking shit I've ever heard.
Didn't even know you're supposed to heat them up. Anyways, the other specific thing, we have our own taco seasoning blend that we use. It's similar to the Old El Paso, but it's our own thing. And then for the meat, I always use ground turkey. Again, ever since I was a kid. I think ground turkey is the definitive taco meat, and I will die on this hill. Everybody likes ground beef. Ground turkey is fucking phenomenal. It's delicious. And it also just so happens to be healthier. Now, that's not why we went with ground turkey. The reason we went with ground turkey in the first place when we were kids was, yes, the cheaper thing. It was cheaper at the time. So my mom got it one week and we were all like, holy shit, this is really good. And we never looked back. Like, ever. That's just what I make tacos out of. So, as I have been spending a lot of effort on adjusting my eating habits to be more healthy, I am having this strange side effect where more healthy food is starting to look more appetizing to me.
That's nice.
Which is, it's nice. It's weird. I think it is kind of like that end goal of what intuitive eating is supposed to mean, where like you just start to crave the things that are good for your body. But the thing is that my tacos are already one of the most healthy meals that I eat. They have always been. As long as I don't overdo it on the cheese, I'm already using fat-free refried beans and ground turkey and then vegetables. Like, it's just that, and pico de gallo and lettuce, and then a little bit of cheese. So they're already in pretty good shape. But I was watching this video, and because I watch food videos all the time, and somebody was doing a bunch of stuff with lettuce wraps. A lettuce wrap has never, in the history of mankind, looked good to me. And I'm watching this like, I just don't get lettuce wraps. None of this looks even vaguely appetizing. But
I don't love them.
They made a taco out of a lettuce wrap. And I was like, ooh, that actually looks really good. Because I love a lot of lettuce in my tacos. So I try it out. Make myself a big old batch of tacos. And I get a head of iceberg lettuce. And I start trying to do this. And I just can't fucking make it work. Right? No matter what, I can't get the lettuce to be shaped like a taco shell the way that I would want it to. So I'm just holding this lettuce bowl with all the taco stuff in it. And it's tasty enough, but the problem is it's not the amount of lettuce. It's that when you eat it, the lettuce itself becomes the most prevalent flavor because it's the first thing that hits your mouth. Everything else is on the inside. And that's not what I want. You want the lettuce to be like, now I'm adding this very specific lettuce crunch to those other existing flavors, specifically the seasoned meat and the beans. That combination right there is, that's it. That's it for me. Plus the taco sauce. I love Old El Paso mild taco sauce. We've had this conversation on the show before.
We have.
Anyways,
you are very passionate about this.
It's one of my favorite flavors in the entire universe. So I'm going through the first couple days of the week trying to make these lettuce tacos work because I feel like I'm real close to something. And I'm talking to my friend Lisa, and she was like, why don't you just do a taco salad? It's like, taco salad? See, now this is another of those things that I've looked at many times. Like, you go to Chipotle and get a taco bowl or something, and I've always looked at like,
I always get the bowl at Chipotle. Always the bowl.
It has never appealed to me. But then, so I was trying to go, okay, well, explain. She's like, well, if you do it that way, if your problem is that the lettuce flavor is not getting all the other stuff first, if you just put the lettuce in a bowl and then mix everything up, that solves your problem. I'm like, well, what about the refried beans? Like, I feel like globbing refried beans into a bowl of lettuce is going to be weird. She's like, well, sure, but I don't know.
And
so I thought about it. I was like, well, what if I heat up the beans, then they become way more spreadable. I'm just going to give this a shot. So I chopped up the lettuce,
just
threw in a bowl,
refried beans.
Heated up the beans. Yeah, that's right. Cold beans was my thing. I still think they're delicious.
Raw dogging.
Just get it right out of the fridge. Chips in cold beans is actually pretty fucking good. But yeah, I threw a bunch of the refried beans in there after heating them up. Bunch of the taco meat, some Monterey Jack, some cheddar, hot sauce, taco sauce, my homemade pico, and I mixed it all up, and it looked kind of weird, but damn if it wasn't exquisite. Holy shit. I have been missing taco salad for my entire life. I feel like this important piece of... This is another taco delivery system that I hadn't considered, and now I have. And it's just been wonderful.
You had me at Meat Tornado. This is an entirely new system for meat delivery.
Yes. This was a Ron Swanson moment.
Wow.
My God. And like this came after like the Italian sub salad I was talking about a few weeks ago, where it's like, just never really occurred to me that would be good, and it was actually fucking delicious. And here I am, taco salad, genius. The depths of salads that I have not considered in life are apparently fucking bottomless.
I mean, how do you feel about mayonnaise? Are you a big mayonnaise guy?
Fucking hate mayonnaise.
Yeah, well, that's going to eliminate a lot of the salads for you.
Well, that's fine. I'm just going to keep doing weird shit with salads.
Yeah,
like a lasagna salad. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, I don't recommend that one, but maybe. I don't fucking know. Yeah. Fuck, man. How do you feel about edamame? Have you gone down that fucking rabbit hole yet? Because
I've tried it before, but not for a long time. Did I tell you that I found a sushi that I actually liked?
No.
Shit, which one was it?
Or maybe. I don't listen when you talk, so I'm going to act surprised right now. What sushi did you like?
I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to double check. It was when Karen's sister was in town. They got sushi, and like she was mentioning this one roll, and it had some sort of, it was like a spicy tuna roll, I think.
Yeah.
And it had that weird mayo on top of it, and apparently raw fish. And I tried it, and it was just like, just looked really good. I was like, fucking, I'm going for it. And I was like, wow, this is actually really delicious. Okay.
Yeah. I think you really might have enjoyed this one roll that I used to get at a place in Staten Island. It was rock shrimp and banana, which sounds like
no. I hate. Not a banana
weird
fan. Nope.
Fuck. Oh well. No. Okay, then no, definitely not. It was so fucking good. It was great. You know, it's funny that you bring up refried beans. It is. Because I really like refried beans. Not cold, because I'm not a fucking savage.
Because you're not a psychopath.
Holy shit. Like, it just never occurred to you to warm them up?
It never occurred to me. It says so right on the can, too. Like, heating instructions. It never occurred to me.
You've never been to a restaurant where you get, like, hot beans?
No, I absolutely have. This is what makes it even dumber. Because I will make a burrito and then heat the whole thing up, and it's so much better because the beans are heated up. I just never made the specific connection that it was the warm beans that was making it better. Never made the connection. I go to a restaurant like fucking Tacos El Tío. It's a great Mexican restaurant near me. I absolutely love Tacos El Tío. And I remember the first time I got a burrito there, and it was like, I nearly wept And I was like, this is the kind of burrito that makes you regret every other burrito you've ever eaten for not being this one. And like, it has hot refried beans in it. And it's so good. Just never pieced together that I should be doing that on all of my situations.
I mean,
because I'm a fucking moron. But it's never too late to learn, Dan. It's never too late.
So anyway, that's just the weirdest fucking thing. And I just thought I would heat up the beans because I'd never thought to heat up the beans.
And I did it because of the consistency.
I just wiped the counter until you come in, and you didn't come in.
Globbing the cold beans into the salad, it would just stay globs. But if you heat them up, then they become looser, and that would spread them around the salad better. That was the breaking point in my brain. Why that was the only thing that made me make the connection, I will never know. Science will never solve that mystery. But here we are.
Boy. So anyway, because here's the next thing you have to do. Because I did it, and if I can do it in a kitchen, you can do it. It was my anniversary last week, and Tiff was not feeling good. It was our wedding anniversary. We were married 18 years on Sunday, right? And the traditional gift for 18 years of marriage is porcelain.
It's refried beans.
It's refried beans. No, it's porcelain. And I was like, what would make you shit? I know, beans. So what I did was I made refried beans. I didn't buy a can of refried beans and heat them up. I bought pinto beans and I made refried beans, and they were fucking exquisite. And they were about the easiest thing that I've ever made. It was half an onion, I think like a tablespoon or two of lard. If you don't like lard, you can use the fucking vegetable Crisco, whatever the fuck is fine. It's not going to taste as good, I don't think, because the lard really does add some flavor to it. But
it adds a flavor to it, but I don't love it.
I get that.
I don't hate it. I am perfectly fine with regular ass refried beans. Absolutely. Okay. But I prefer them without the lard. Yeah. Because there's something broken inside of me, as we know.
There definitely is. But
I'm not claiming to be right.
So it was the 3 cans of beans, right? You drain, and canned beans are fine. Like, you could buy dry beans, but then you have to soak them overnight and all that shit.
Yeah.
3 cans of pinto beans that you drain, dump in a blender. Stock, like I used, I think I used chicken stock. But you could use like beef stock or pork stock or whatever the fucking stock you got. Vegetable stock might be good. I don't know. I use chicken stock. You blend them all together. And then you throw that in a pan on low, like almost on simmer, right? Don't really let it get higher than that. Throw in your lard, garlic, cumin, half an onion. Just stir that shit around until it gets nice and silky smooth. Absolutely fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. Super easy. So that is the next. That's the next hurdle for you, right? Because now that you figured out to heat them up, you just make them yourself. You've never fucking heated your beans. It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's the whitest shit I've ever heard. I have never
been afraid to make refried beans. Like, that's never been an issue for me. I've been like, oh, I could make my own. It's that, you know, in the time it takes you to read the recipe, I've already opened the can and eaten a taco. Like, it's just the convenience factor. I'm sure they're way better, but the convenience and the speed at which I could get the beans into my body is considerably more fast when I just open up a fucking can and microwave it, you know?
It's fair.
Or not microwave it.
Or not microwave it. Delicious. You're getting it in there in fucking record time. I'm biting through the fucking tin.
the entire time you're telling me about how you made the refried beans, I'm like, yeah, I could do this. But I could have already, you know how many tacos I could have eaten in that time that it took you to even explain the recipe to me, let alone do it?
Just saying it was super fucking worth it. Super fucking worth it.
It's one of those things I've been meaning to try for years and just like, okay. I mean, I could, but, fucking when?
Yeah.
I mean, I make my own fucking pico de gallo from scratch. Like,
this is what I'm saying. If you're already at the point where you're making your own fucking pico, you might as well make some refried beans.
Yeah, no, we'll consider it.
White ass bitch.
I am a white ass bitch. But I am not done. That was my taco journey this week, and that was wonderful. Another wonderful thing that happened, besides all the playoff hockey that was really fun, was Ellie had her choir concert.
Aww.
And it was delightful. She had
my
a solo.
invite got lost in the mail, I assume.
Yeah. You were going to drive an hour to come down and see Ellie sing a concert. I'm sure you were.
I fucking might. She's my best friend. I spend more time with her during the week than I do. No, I'm just she comes down to talk to me every week. I feel like I should come support her musical endeavors.
So she got a solo, and she was really proud of herself when she tried out for it, and then she got it.
That's awesome.
And, boy, she was really nervous. And you could see, so she was front and center when all the kids were up there. She was right in the middle. And before her solo, the whole time she was up there, she kept putting her hands over her mouth and was like, she's going to run off stage and barf, because she does that a lot. She gets nervous and then horks. That's her thing.
Sure.
And I was like, please keep it together, kids. You can do it. And then this other girl next to her started comforting her, like, while they're singing and it was getting close to her solo. This other girl started coming and like cheering her on. I was like, oh my God, this is so sweet. And then she went up and like all the lights went down and she sang this little solo. And like she was a little off key, but I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. I was in tears, smiling so hard because she went up there and she did it with such confidence. She went up there and she sang from her heart and she did it with confidence. And I was so fucking proud of her. She did such a good job.
That's fucking awesome.
That was so wonderful.
That's so great. Who is knocking on my chamber door?
Hi, Mom wants to know where her weed is.
It's in my book bag.
Okay.
You could have texted me. Hello? Did anybody text me that?
She told me to come ask you.
Oh, she did text me. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Whoever it is.
Hello. It's Kris.
Hi,
Sorry.
Kris.
I'm ignoring Kris.
Howdy.
You're still not in frame. There you go. That's Roddy.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
He can't.
Living the dream?
Aw.
Yes.
Okay, bye. Love you.
My name is Elder.
Does he have a Bubsy LED sign?
He does indeed have a Bubsy LED sign.
Tell him I love that.
Don't fucking encourage him.
No, he should get
Always
more Bubsy
encourage
stuff, just specifically because you hate Bubsy.
He should not get more Bubsy stuff.
He should get more Bubsy stuff. Tell him I say get more Bubsy stuff.
He can hear you.
Oh,
You're
I
very
can
loud.
hear you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Bubsy stuff left that I don't have.
That's fair. Love you, Bug. That is fair. Chubbs in for a Bubs. Sorry.
This last bit is going to be way less fun, and it's dedicated to Unas 11 in Discord. So can we have a fridge segment every week? Well, guess what, motherfucker? There's a fridge segment this week because the fucking plot continues. The plot thickens. So, after the whole story of last week, we know why I needed a new fridge. The integrity of the insulation is failing because of a faulty part. It's a defective refrigerator. That's why I was able to, after 2.5 hours, convince Frigidaire to sell me one for $1,000.
Yes.
Slightly less after the rebate. Not thrilled about spending $1,000, but at least I'm getting a new fridge out of the deal. Now, when I talked to I can't remember if I mentioned this part last week. I think I did. Where they said,
I'm very excited by your tone.
This is the fridge that we've picked out for you. It's bigger than your old fridge. Your old fridge is counter depth. This one is not.
Nope.
I was like, okay.
Nope.
Now, I used to have a fridge of that size. I couldn't figure it was very difficult when that fridge died to get it out of my house.
Mhm.
Last time I tried to buy a fridge, Lowe's delivered it, and they were like, we can't get this fridge through this doorway. You need to get a counter depth fridge. And I said, the only way a refrigerator of that size is getting into my kitchen is if it goes over a half wall. And they said that shouldn't be a problem at all. I said, okay, if you say so. And the next person calls to offer me, because it was supposed to show up today. But they were like, hey, we actually have an opening on Wednesday. Do you want the fridge Wednesday instead of Friday? I said, abso-fucking-lutely. While I have you, this is a full-size fridge. I have a counter-depth fridge. The only way that this fridge is getting into my kitchen is if it is lifted over a half wall. Are you sure
Absolutely
that's going to be okay?
no problem.
No problem
No
at all.
problem.
So, I spend
Spoilers.
my morning, which the getting ready for them. I clear a path from the front, moving all the furniture out of the way to clear a path from the front door to loop around through my living room and my dining room. So there's a clear path for the fridge to go to the dining room where the half wall is that it needs to go over to get into the kitchen. I empty all the stuff out of my fridge, all the stuff out of my freezer, get it all into various coolers. I am ready. The delivery guys show up. They come into the house, take a look around. I'm like, all right. I've had this conversation with 2 people at Frigidaire, and they both said this isn't a problem. But they're not the ones delivering the fridge. You are. Let me show you something. This is a half wall. The only way this fridge is getting into this kitchen is over this half wall. And they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, so nobody told you about this. That's fantastic. So they start measuring the fridge and measuring the doorways and like, yeah, this fridge isn't going in there. I was like, I know. The only way that fridge fits into my kitchen is over this half wall. I've said this numerous times by now. And they're like, they look at it, they look at each other like, yeah, we're not doing that. It's like, I didn't think you were, except that I was guaranteed that you were. So they call their supervisor, and he's like, no, you can't. Here's the thing. Even if you could, the 2 of you lift this fridge over this half wall, which ain't safe,
Which you can't.
You would have to turn it on its side, which you're not supposed to do with a fridge.
No.
They're supposed to stay upright. They're not supposed to go on their sides. So this is a bad idea all around, which is what I had been saying from the jump. This is not a good plan. But if you insist. So, they're like, we're not doing this. You want us to take your old fridge away? I was like, no. I need to put my food back in it. It's the only fridge I've got.
What an asshole thing to suggest.
Not quite as an asshole-ish thing as, I don't know, pulling my garbage cans up from the curb without checking to see if there was anything inside of them. But that's a podcast for a different podcast.
You want to be totally fucked? No? Oh, okay.
So they said what you need to do is you need to call Frigidaire back and pick out a different fridge.
No.
I'm like, fantastic, because that's the kind of time I have. So I start working on repacking the fridge, and I get on hold with Frigidaire, and I start explaining what's going on to the woman on the phone who does not follow at all. She's just not following what's happening right here. So she picks out a different fridge. She's like, all right, this took her a while, right? I explained I needed something that was counter depth. This is the amount of space that you have to work with to get a fridge through this door. As long as without the doors on, it is less than 28 inches, we're good. Because you can take the doors off the fridge. As long as you can do that, we're good. She puts me on hold for nearly a half an hour to try to find a fridge that fits these specifications. And I'm like, wow, they really must not have a lot of counter depth fridges. That's a very strange thing, but I don't know a lot about refrigerators. And I'm just, I'm working and attempting to work while listening to the hold music and repacking my fridge and removing all my furniture around to close up that space. And about a half an hour later, she's like, okay, here's this fridge. It's pretty different, but it has the water dispenser on the inside instead of the outside. It doesn't have handles, so you have to reach underneath to open the doors. Not optimal, but okay, whatever. It looks really nice because it doesn't have the handles. And it is a less expensive fridge than the one that they were going to give me for $1,000. So she's like, so with the discounts, I can give you this one for about $1,200.
Nope.
I'm like, please hold. You want to give me this one for $1,200. What about the rebate? Like, well, no, that incorporates the rebate. No. You didn't, no, that's a discount. I mean, there's an additional rebate on top of it that was getting... They gave me an optional... They gave me a rebate on top of dropping the price to the other one down to about this price before the rebate, which was another $400. So after tax, everything, it was coming to just shy of $1,000. You're saying that you want me to pay you more money for less fridge that is initially cheaper than the one that they had already discounted down before. And the reason for this is... Even
after we had the discussion about the half wall, that you assured me it was going to go over.
You have wasted a lot of my time with this delivery. You've wasted your delivery man's time. You wasted the time of anybody who loaded this fridge onto the truck in the first place. You have wasted a ton of time with this just absolute insane notion that lifting two dudes can lift this fridge over a half wall, no problem at all. They put zero thought into this. So I'm explaining that this is unacceptable. She said, well, this is why this fridge is only in stock on the Frigidaire website, not the special friends and family website that we sent you to for that other fridge. So that site carries this fridge, but that site's out of stock. I'm like, yes, but that's a Frigidaire site. Your Frigidaire.
And you said, I give a fuck about this. Why?
Why do I care which website of yours your fridge comes from? It's your fucking fridge. Who cares which one of your two websites it comes from? Give me the fridge at X price. Like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I'm like, okay, so we're just going to cancel the other fridge, right? I need a refund for that one because I already paid for it. So we're going to cancel that one. And I'm supposed to wait until this newer, smaller, cheaper, yet somehow more expensive fridge comes back in stock on the friends and family page, which we have no idea when that's going to happen.
If ever.
I'm supposed to wait for that for an indeterminate amount of time, and that's the best you have to offer me. It's like, yeah, that's really what we got going on. I said, that is absolutely unacceptable. I would very much like to speak to a manager. It's okay. They're probably going to tell you the same thing. Like, I don't care if they're probably going to tell me the same thing. Your management needs to be spoken to because you have fucked my day. I've already spent 2.5 hours the other day on this situation, right. And now I'm working on 2 hours today at least, not including the amount of time it took me to move my furniture and empty the fridge in the first fucking place that I knew wasn't going to work out at all in the second place, because in the third place I told you it wasn't going to work because the fridge had to go over fucking half wall. So I wait on hold. And since I'm on hold for an indeterminate amount of time, and I've already put the fridge back together, I start actually trying to get a little bit of work done while I'm doing this. And eventually, after being on hold for another 25, 30 minutes, she comes back and says, so we're still waiting. There hasn't been a manager available. I'm like, what do you mean there hasn't been a manager available? This is a customer service problem. Okay. She's like, I'm sorry, it's really busy today. I'm like, gee, I wonder what that's like, to be really busy. I wish I knew. Wish I had any notion of what that was like.
Maybe don't make shit product.
I remained calm, polite, and pleasant because that's what I do. And she said, well, would you prefer us to call you back? It's like, okay, sure, I'll take a call back. I can't really dedicate any more time to this today.
Yeah.
Assuming, now, the way that usually works is we keep your place in line, and whenever
we'll call you back in an hour.
We'll call you back in an hour.
Yeah.
She said, all right, you can expect a call back within 48 hours.
Nope. Were you going to have me on hold for 48 hours? Fucking hours?
Because that doesn't sound right. But at this point, I need to get back to work. I no longer have time to dedicate to this. I'm like, okay, cool. You're going to process that return, right? I'm going to get all my money back, right? Yes, we're going to work on that right away. Fan-fucking-tastic. You process that return, and I will wait for 48 hours to get this call back. This was Wednesday afternoon. It is now Friday at 9:48 p.m. Guess who hasn't gotten a call back yet? This guy. So that call, if it's ever happening, is happening maybe Monday. Because I doubt they're going to work on the weekend. So while I'm on hold, before this 48-hour callback thing happens, I decide to take a quick look at... Dan, stop.
I'm calling you to talk about your fridge.
You're talking about the fridge. I'm going to answer this phone, and I'm going to fuck up the camera and fuck up the whole podcast. While I'm waiting on hold, I go to the Friends and Family website, and I search for the same kind of fridge that I had, and all right, what's available at Counter Depth? Oh, tons of stuff. I found 2 fridges that fit my criteria perfectly within minutes. I don't know what she was searching for the 20 some odd minutes that she was looking for a fridge to fit my criteria before, but I found something in the merest of moments. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I speak to a manager, I'm just going to say, you see this fridge that's in stock on the Friends and Family site? Give me it for that price. I want this fridge for the price that you were going to give me the other fridge I told you wasn't going to fit my fucking house. Do that for me. And you know what? Do me one better, since you wasted so much of my goddamn time. Let's skip the rebate nonsense. Just give it to me for the price.
That's it.
I don't want to have to mail you a special rebate thing. Get them, and they keep telling me, oh, we can't do that. The system won't let me do that, and blah, blah, blah. No. Get a manager override. There is a manager override for customer service problems. There always is. Just get a manager to say, this is wrong. We fucked up. Let me fix this problem for you, and call it a day.
Yeah, and just let's everyone move on with our lives.
Yes, let's end this. Get me a refrigerator that works, and so renew my faith in your brand. So upset.
Frigidaire, notably not a sponsor of the Stone Age Gamer podcast.
No. I was absolutely livid. And the thing is I drove over to I have a local red tag place that sells like scratch and dent stuff. Yeah. And like even there, I can't get a fridge for $1,000. Like even a scratch and dent of these things is still going to be like $1,200-$1,300 at least. Because that's just what these things cost now. So I was like, all right, well, I looked into it. This is still the only affordable way for me to really get a replacement. It is what it is. I got to keep trying. Because this fridge isn't getting any better. It's just going to keep deteriorating. I need a new refrigerator because this one is defective. Right. So
it's not going to magically improve.
Yeah.
Anytime soon.
It's just
wow.
So come Monday, I'm going to try to find more time dedicated to doing this. Get back on the phone with them for another hour, however long it takes, and hopefully I will wind up with a new refrigerator that'll fit. Because all it was anything counter depth would fit. Because this one's 30 inches with the doors on. Cool, the doors come off. Fuck, open the doors. The bottom drawer comes out. I know that for a fact. Just open the doors and then they can fit through the doorway. There's any number of ways to get this through there. Any number.
Pivot.
I don't know what this lady was looking for that he needed to be so specifically weirdly sized, because the doors are like almost 3-4 inches. Like no matter what,
she wasn't looking. She had to go take a shit. Yeah, I'll look for you. Hold on.
Sure, you will. Oh, absolutely livid. And that really put me in such a bad mood. But then that night, I got Ellie's concert followed by that Crazy Awesome Flyers game. So I was in much better spirits after that. But man, that just my fucking week with this fridge. I swear to God, I just want a fridge that works. And now I have to choose, right? Because the two that I was looking at, one of them has the water and ice on the outside. The other one has the water and ice on the inside. The advantage to the water and ice on the outside is one, you don't have to open the fridge, you just clunk and there's a thing and it dispenses the water, which is convenient. But then the other advantage is that the kids love, specifically Ellie, is crushed ice. You can get crushed ice right out of the fridge. Ellie fucking loves crushed ice. When she found out we didn't get the fridge that day, she was so demoralized because she was so excited to finally have crushed ice back in her life. But the advantage of the other one is that if the water maker, the water dispenser is inside the fridge, all that space is free now. You can fit so much more in the fridge because like the ice maker and stuff is in the top and it takes up like a big chunk of the fridge. So when you don't have that, it's like in the wall. It's really cool. So you would still have to open the door to get the water, but it still makes the ice cubes in the freezer itself, and you get all of this fridge space back. So I'm leaning towards option B because I want more fridge space. I often run out of fridge space because we have to have a counter depth fridge because only an insane person would put an enormous fridge in this kitchen, which is what was there when we moved in because insane people used to live here. And there's no question that they put it over the half wall or they built the half wall after the fridge was in the kitchen. I don't know. I'm so angry.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, that's a lot.
So that was my week. How was your week, Dan?
My week was really busy. It was really busy. I mentioned it last week on the show. The only thing I was allowed to say was that I had gotten a review copy of Saros for PS5, and the review embargo lifted today. So a whole bunch of reviews have gone up for this game. It is currently sitting, this morning it was sitting at an 89 on Metacritic. So I'm just kind of curious as to where it is. It's an 88 right now on Metacritic. And it's got just a whole fucking 96 reviews on Metacritic, including the one that I wrote, which was kind of cool to like see it on Metacritic. What I think is really cool about that in particular, one is that I ended up giving the game a 9 out of 10, which is kind of right in line where everybody else fell. But it also, I think, is kind of telling that the review embargo was lifted a week before this game releases. Right? So this game doesn't come out until
They've
the 30th.
got some confidence there.
That is some fucking confidence in a first-party PlayStation title that is a spiritual successor. It is not a sequel to Returnal. However, in my review, and almost every other review I've read so far, because I was really curious, just to kind of see what other people thought about it and whatever, everybody is talking about how this is so similar to Returnal. And I think if Returnal would have done better or had a better name, I like the name Returnal, but it's not the most catchy name in the world, and it's kind of weird to say, right? This is basically Returnal 2, but it's also so much more than that, right? One of the things about Saros that is so fucking good, and it's a really, really good game. I'm really, really impressed with it. I'm really, really happy with it. And I really genuinely hope that it does very, very well. Is that one of the things that it's so impressive is that Returnal was a very, very difficult game. I would imagine if there were numbers on it, the amount of people who played Returnal and liked Returnal are far greater than the number of people that actually finished Returnal. Because Returnal is a super hard fucking game. It's just really hard, and it's one of those roguelike games where it almost feels like death is a punishment, right? Because you're building your run and you're getting all these things and you're moving through the game and I made all this progression, blah, 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 blah. This is fucking awesome. And then, fuck, I died because this game's legitimately hard and I fucking died. And my run was an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half. And now I just have to start over again. And that is so fucking soul crushing. It's so demoralizing to have that happen in a game, right? And one of the things that Saros fixed is that runs are about 30 minutes long. And the structure of the game is very much as they describe it. Housemarque, the studio that's made it, they also made Resogun and Nex Machina and I can't remember the other game that they made that people really liked off the top of my head. They describe it as a bullet ballet, right? And it is a bullet hell third-person shooter. That is absolutely what it is. There are so many fucking projectiles flying on the screen, in addition to enemies swarming in and jumping, and they've got patterns, and this fucker's shooting shit at you, and there's a certain color of projectiles that you can absorb, right? Kind of like Ikaruga, where you can absorb a certain color of projectiles and charge up your shield so you can fire out your super blast back at them. And then there's another set of projectiles that are corrupted projectiles, and they do a different thing. Then there's a third set of projectiles that you can only parry, right? You can't even block them with your shield. If they hit you, they'll fuck you up, but you can parry them. So you've got all of this shit happening at the same time. And it's so fun and intuitive, and the combat is just so satisfying, right? That you just want to keep going through, and that one more run, because the runs, they cut them down to about 20 minutes to a half hour. And that's kind of the perfect structure for a game like this. Like, you haven't played Hades yet, right?
No.
Okay. When you do, and you should, because it's fucking great.
Of course Hades, I should. I fucking bought it.
I know. It's incredible. And one of the things that they really nailed with Hades was also that length of time for your run. Right? Because where games like that fail is that a run is 45 minutes, an hour long, and then fuck, I died, and I have to, I feel like my progression is set all the way back. With a run that's like 20 minutes to a half hour, it doesn't feel as bad, right? It just doesn't feel as crushing to have your run end. Also, because they added permanent unlocks in this skill tree that you go through, that make everything a little bit easier, right? So, like, Saros is one of those games where if you get to a certain section and you're just not quite there yet, well, okay, you just grind a little bit more, right? And not grind for another 6 hours. You know, not grind for another 2 hours, just a little bit long, a couple more runs, and you'll be able to unlock a permanent upgrade that will give you just enough health or just enough, you know, whatever it is that you need to be able to advance to the next part of the story. It's just so fun to play, and was such a smart update to the formula that they had with Returnal. The other thing that was just really, really awesome about this game is that it's really story-driven, which is not a thing that Housemarque has done before. They borrowed very heavily from The King in Yellow, which is this old cosmic horror thing that was written a long time ago. There's a series of like a play called The King in Yellow that's in Penn is reading it currently, because just kind of coincidentally was something she was into. It was then later like pulled into things like Lovecraft used a lot of the names from The King in Yellow stuff, like Carcosa, which is the planet that Saros takes place on, and just a bunch of different things. Did you watch the first season of True Detective? The Woody Harrelson. No, okay. King in Yellow's in that too. There's like references to it, so it is a very well known thing, and they pull a lot of that stuff kind of real heavy into the story. And it was what I was trying to say. I think I ultimately took that sentence that you suggested out of the review, because the plot, when the game starts, you're kind of given this very basic by the numbers sci-fi plot. There's a far off planet with a valuable resource, and the big evil corporation wants to mine the resource, and they send the colonists, and shit goes pear-shaped, right? The plot is aliens, right? It is an action game by way of aliens. But then it becomes so much more than that. And I was just so continuously impressed with this game. I absolutely fucking loved it. And spent a huge chunk of time this week getting through Saros. Because this was one of those ones where, you know, I could have put the review out, because the game doesn't come out for another week, right? So I could have put the review out next week. It would have been okay. But I wanted to really to hit that embargo date, and really just kind of get it up there and get that score up and see where everybody was going to kind of land. Yeah, I absolutely cannot recommend this game enough. It is fucking awesome. If you are a fan of third-person shooters, Saros is a game for you. If you are a fan of bullet hell games, Saros is a game for you. If you like weird, kind of creepy, cosmic horror, you know, sci-fi games, Saros is the fucking game for you. It is awesome. It is going to get Game of the Year awards. I don't know how many, but it is definitely going to get them. It will absolutely be up for contention for them. Fuck, man. Raoul Cooley from Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix, which was great. iZombie, which was iZombie. He's done a few other things. He is outstanding as the main character. The fucking voice acting is great. The script is great. Weirdly, the audio logs and the text logs that you find kind of scattered throughout the world, right? Usually you click on those things, and I clicked on them because the fucking light was shining, and I don't actually care what they say. They're actually well written and are like engaging to read, and was like, ooh, I was excited when I found this thing in the game world and wanted to read to find out more of this fucking weird ass story that's happening. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Fucking loved it. So impressed.
I mean, your review made it sound pretty good.
It is not a game for you by any stretch. I do not think you would enjoy it. I think you would enjoy the gameplay mechanics of it, but it's just not the type of game world you like to be in. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's kind of dark. It's kind of twisted. There's not a lot of fun. It's not fun. You know, it's fun to play because it just plays so damn well. And like, even with all the stuff going on, it is like you just kind of get into this zone, and you're like, I'm dodging and I'm absorbing and I'm parrying, and then there's a thing up there. All right, so I jumped over here and I'm shooting, and the particular rifle that I picked up has smart rounds this time, so it's fucking auto tracking the enemies around, and I'm jumping behind a thing and I'm dodging the different it's just fucking crazy, and it becomes really fun, but it's all really dark and kind of sad. And like, you know, halfway through each level, basically about halfway, you trigger an eclipse, everything gets fucking weirder and grosser, and there's like biomechanical horrors and shit all over the place, which is, you know, for me is right up my alley. I was super into it. You know, but yeah, I mean, that is what I did this week because I had a responsibility to fulfill. So I really spent no other time on anything else. Like I said, I did buy Vampire Crawlers. So I will spend some time with it this week. Oh, I don't know how much time though, because I think I've gotten everything I need to out of King of Swing. I don't think the last third of the game is going to usher in new mechanics to such a degree that I'm going to be, oh, this is complete. Holy shit, it's a fucking 2D fighting game now? Like, what happened? I can't believe I missed that. Like, that's not going to happen.
I have thoughts.
So now I got to focus on Earthbound. But there's so much other shit. Kris, Mouse PI for Hire came out. I haven't gotten that yet.
I heard.
What the fuck? I haven't played through Pragmata yet. I really want to play through Pragmata. Really want to get to that. This has been a fucking huge year already. Like, I feel like this has been a really big year for everyone but Switch 2 players.
Well, I mean, Pragmata's on Switch.
No, I know, but like, there hasn't been the big Switch thing, you know?
Right, yeah, there hasn't been a huge Switch exclusive dealio yet.
Like, but that's also kind of, Pokemon Pokopia came out, which is...
That's true, yeah, it's just there hasn't been a big exclusive thing for us specifically, you know? Yeah. Pokopia has been pretty big. I mean, the Mario Tennis was pretty good, apparently. I don't know what else came out this year that was a... There has been stuff. There just hasn't been stuff for us.
I mean, because so far this year, we've gotten Resident Evil Requiem, which by all accounts is outstanding. Eugenics, which Penn has dumped so many hours into. She's like, you got to play Eugenics, Dad. You got to play Eugenics. I'm like, all right, sweet. I would. I could, because you bought it on Steam and the Steam family sharing and all of that. Like, all of that's great. I would love to play it. You're always playing it, so I can't ever play it. But like, I'll get to that. Saros is huge. Pragmata is huge. This Karen game is apparently out of control good. That in and of itself would be pretty nuts. But then there's a couple other like smaller games that came out that I'm really interested in. Like, there's this game called TR49. That was a Steam game that looked really cool. Mio Memories in Orbit was this really cool looking little Metroidvania that came out. Vampire Crawlers came out today. Mouse PI for Hire. Reanimal we haven't gotten to yet. I really want to check out Reanimal, which is made by the team that did maybe the first and second Little Nightmares. It might just be the first Little Nightmares, but whatever. Like, all of that is a crazy amount of games, and it's just April. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting. I'm sure there is. Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I'm looking now. Scott Pilgrim EX came out. Really want to play through that. Darwin's Paradox, which hasn't reviewed super well.
I really want to give that one a go.
Yeah.
But, who has the time?
Romeo is a Dead Man? Fuck, I didn't get that. The Marvel Maximum Collection, which we did spend some time on that, but not enough to really talk about.
But, we've played those games before.
Yeah. Apparently that new Legacy of Kain shit isn't very good.
That's a bummer.
That's what I'm hearing. Ascendance. It's currently got a 53 on Metacritic. Which isn't what you want. Fuck, God of War. God of War, Sons of Sparta. I fucking played through that this year. Anyway, there's been a lot of shit. It's been a big year for games. Saros is fucking great. I love it. Yeah, go buy it next week. That's it.
No.
I'm out.
No, I will not.
I don't.
On your recommendation, I will not buy it because you told me I wouldn't like it. But everybody else should.
Everybody else should. You should definitely not. You won't enjoy it. You can come over and play it. That's fine.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right.
Is that it? We good? We've done the things.
Fuck off.
All the things have been done. They've been done by you and me. Okay.
That was it.
Then I'm going to call it. That's our show. Join us next time for the Alphabet Super Series. We'll be talking about DK King of Swing, Game Boy Advance, the game that I chose and have thoughts on. Many of them are not positive.
Spoilers.
It's a spoiler. Look, I have a lot to say about it. It's a very interesting game, and that's all I got. We're on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.